What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you tonight with more Danmachi. And we talked about Familia Royale 1 yesterday, but Familia Royale 2 just dropped on this today. Let's talk about what you need to do and do a quick run-through of this event. Now, you are running against these the 3 skeletons. The first one does physical attack and uses skills to increase its strength. Removing those strength buffs, it would not be a bad thing. The small ones also use physical attacks and uses slow, though I don't know if that's really even that big a deal, and I'll show you why here in a moment. Uses physical resist and magic resist buffs on itself. I didn't remove them, and I didn't have a problem. So I'll show you my team here in a moment. Enemy resistance. The large one is Thunder down 30%, Light down 60%. The small ones are Thunder down 60%, Light down 30%. So you can mix and match your team. Personally, I ran a I ran a mostly magic light team with 1 physical unit, and I'll show you that here in a moment as well. Earth resist is up 15%, dark resist is up 30%. Everything else is neutral, including physical and magic. Okay, and then the small ones are Earth resist 30 and Dark resist 15. Basically, don't run Earth or Dark on this one is kind of the long and the short of it. But as nice as it is, physical and magic are both neutral. So debuff as you wish and use whatever you got. The small guys, they cast stun, so be prepared for it. Spartoi large buffs itself for a strong all targets attack. So be careful. In other words, he's gonna do big dude's gonna do an AOE. If the way I did my run, I took out big dude first. Both of the small and the large have different element resists. Form a party of mixed thunder and/or light to challenge your with your strongest party. Now, what I did, let's go ahead and jump over to my run here real quick. And I got a halfway decent score, not the best score by a long shot, but an okay score. I ran this team right here. Now, one of the big things I did with this team is I actually make sure that everybody has a stun anklet, except obviously my sack units, Line and Toka. Alright, and so I'll go ahead and go through a quick run here, and you will notice that on the new Haruhime, I actually have that Hestia that does MP restoration, and you'll see why here in a moment. What most of you probably can already figured out. I am running this this Tione, and that's basically just to ensure that like every other turn I'm getting some kind of SA, and it does come in clutch, at least for the team that I've built here. Alright, so for I'm going to run everybody's first still except for Line. I'm going to do the 33% SA gauge charge. Probably could get a little bit more out of it if I put Tione on the end and brought Anya in from the beginning, but you know, it already is crazy fast. So that's not a provision I have seen a huge amount of necessity in. Alright, so in this one we're going to use Toka to reduce light resist on all units down by 30%. That will be super nice. And that pretty much comes to the end of our debuffing session. So at the end of this, I'll show you kind of where we stand. Alright. So now I'm going to start targeting the big guy, because this Anya is going to start taking him apart. Alright. I'm going to do Sheikah on this turn. I'm going to then go ahead and do everybody's third skill, except for Anya. She's just now buffing. Lego. Oh, I was going to show off the debuffs. That's okay. Alright. Now, we do have an SA, but I find, personally, the fastest method for me was actually a triple SA to take out one target in general. So, I'm going to hold off and not do that this turn. Now, big guy is physical down 20%, magic's down 25%, light is down 90%. So, he is just getting taken apart at the seams. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at the little guys. Now, light is, magic is not effective on them yet, but I can go ahead and do the debuffs here in a moment. Though, if I'm honest, they're going to get taken apart plenty fast. Alright, light is down 60 on them, so they're going to be good. And he's roughly the same. So let's go ahead and wipe these dudes out. All right. So turn 3, I did that buff. I'm going to go ahead and do this one here. Physical resist down 30. That's just going to drop the physical ever so slightly more. It's not going to affect light one bit. Boom. And we're getting a lot of nice critical hits on them. So you can see here. Now the one thing to do bear in mind, this team is all single target units. You could do this a lot faster if you have good AoEs, but unfortunately I do not have good AoEs. My light team is almost predominantly single target. So that is something to bear in mind. My score could be a lot better and I could get rid of them way faster if I had some good AoEs. Something I am definitely going to think about doing here. But we just about have our SA gauge charged all the way up for that triple SA. That's kind of our goal here. And big guy probably isn't going to survive this, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. And now you'll notice that the Haruhime unit, the new one, you'll notice she's having no MP problems whatsoever. She is just laughing at this. Alright, so now I'm going to target this little guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and do SA with Haruhime, SA with the new Haruhime, and SA with Anya. Now the reason I'm going to do that, obviously the OG Haruhime does strength and magic up 100%. This new one does light attack damage for everybody 100% and 40% HP regen. And Anya does a 60% buff to herself. It's worth noting that this Haruhime also does an 80% buff to herself. And Anya also does light attack damage plus 90% to herself. So that little dude about to just up and disappear. And it's going to be hilarious. Now the big guy is low enough that literally at this juncture, what we're almost going to do here is just kind of wipe him out with counters. So when his health bar is low enough that counters are just going to take him out. And you'll see the damage we're going to produce just with, you know, the base level attacks is going to be astounding here. All right. That is a 1.3, 1.29, 1.3 mil with a critical. And what you got, girl? Hers should be pretty nice too. She's only +3 though. Now it is worth noting, yes, I probably could have had SAs a little sooner. I don't know. Actually, maybe not. I don't know if it actually evens out or not, but yeah. So big guy's gone. And now as you can kind of suspect, we're going to target this other dude over here, and we're going to wipe him out now. Alright, so we're going to do Yosuga, we're going to do those attacks, and let go. Now we get an SA, we're going to do Haruhime's SA. Other than that, pretty much he's going to be dead. This turn should do it. Get him, girl. Get him. So like I said, removing their buffs and all that isn't that important. Now, I will say Anya does remove the strength buff for old boy, the big guy. But, you know, it's... removing the other stuff really never became a problem for me. This team just absolutely dominated this event. And I'm pulling almost 17 mil. That's the high score. I swear I had a higher score than that. But if you want to know how the scoring details break down, and I've talked about it before, your base attack at the top plus your turn bonus. So I did it on turn 10, so I got 120% turn bonus. Your total score then becomes 15.4 million added to the highest damage bonus. So the most damage I did with one unit was 129, so that's added to that, and that comes out to 16.67 basically million. So yeah, that's how you get numbers, guys. You having a single target unit that does insane damage helps out a lot, but I will be the first to say, what is it? I think you get 20%, I think, for every round sooner you beat them. So, you know, if I got another 20% on that top number just for getting, you know, ending a turn sooner using AoEs, that actually would work out in my favor. But I've obviously got to go work on that. I don't have the AoEs that will do that. But there you go, guys. That is round 2. Make sure you go in there and do the best you can. Doesn't matter really what you're running unless you're running Earth and was it Earth and Dark. Just don't use those. But debuff them, go ham, and if you can use AoEs, absolutely do use it. Round 3 will benefit single targets more, but we'll talk about that when it drops here in, I think, 2 days. So we'll talk about that then. Until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be back at you guys with more Danmachi soon.